Hey everyone, thanks for tuning in. Today's video, we're going to be testing out the differences between a few free or easy to make fire starters. Stick around. Before we get started, two notes. One, I want to thank one of my longtime community members, Andrew McCabe, for the idea. This is a great idea to compare and contrast different fire starting methods. So thank you very much, Andrew. I really appreciate the suggestion. If you have a suggestion like this for a video, go ahead and leave it in the comments below. Second, we are going to be doing fire today. So I want to make sure that everyone knows fire can cause damage to you, your stuff, or your neighbor's stuff. So kids, make sure you have adult supervision at home before you try this on your own. Now, that's all out of the way. Let's talk about what we're doing today. We have 3 different types of fire starters. Let me introduce you to them right now. First up, hailing from his hometown of Laundry, we have Dryer Lint, the old standby that's in my kit right now. So let's see how this guy fares against the 2 other contenders. Our next contender is from the kingdom of bathroom vanity. Here is petroleum jelly cotton balls. I haven't used these before, but people say they are amazing. So let's check it out. And last, but certainly not least, all the way from the deep woods, the old timer, Birch Bark. I've used Birch Bark for years and years, and it has never failed me, so this should be a really good competition. Okay, now that we've met our contenders, let's talk about the competition in general. First off, we're going to use 3 different ignition methods. We've got a match, a lighter, and a ferrocerium rod. So we're going to check each of these to see how they work on each of the fire starters. Secondly, we're going to be measuring a few different things. We're going to measure how the fire starter works when it's dry, when it's been soaked in some water for a little bit, and we're going to measure how long each one burns. So, should be pretty comprehensive, and I hope you'll stick around. I think this is going to be a lot of fun. Let's get started. First up, we've got our old friend Dryer Lint, which you can get from your dryer. It's pretty straightforward, very easy, and readily available if you do laundry. So that's where I got this stuff from. This one here, we're going to start this one on fire with a match. This one is going to be with the lighter, and this one is going to be with the ferrocerium rod. First up, the match. You can see, I just lit the match, and this is now on fire. It's a slow burn. You got to have pretty dry tinder for this. Yeah, it's working. It's still on fire. Burns for a good long time when it's dry. It may look like it's out, but it is actually still burning. Right, oh, that's fire. Right here and over here. Next up, let's use a lighter to see if we get any better results. Much bigger flame. Looks like it's burning a lot quicker than with the match. It's doing pretty well. You can definitely feel the heat off of it. That's funny. Still going. Still some flame in here and in there. Okay, let's move on to the ferrocerium rod. I've got my Mora knife bushcraft setup that I'm just going to use. So I just put the ferrocerium rod in there. There you go. It's lit. There's flame right through here. Nice combination of how the match and the lighter worked. And the sparkles that you see are actually part of the ferrocerium. They kind of spark up real quick. Good flame right here. Not bad. The whole thing is engulfed, which is nice. So, as you can see, each of the ignition methods worked really well with our first contender, Dryer Lint. Let's get cotton balls in on the mix now. We have got petroleum jelly soaked cotton balls. How you make these is you take some 100% petroleum jelly and put it in a little baggie, and then put some cotton balls in it. Mix it all up with your fingers, mush it like that, and get the petroleum jelly all throughout the outside. At least that's what I did, and it worked perfectly fine. So what we're gonna do is the same test: match, lighter, ferrocerium rod. Now, the caveat to the petroleum jelly soaked cotton balls is that you actually have to peel them apart and get to the fibers on the inside. You do have to make sure your cotton balls are 100% cotton. Some of those synthetic fibers will not catch. So we're pretty open there. Now let's get the match. Pretty good flame. Boom. Look at that. Went up quick. There is a lot of black smoke. That's the petroleum jelly. Unfortunate side effect. But if you need a fire starter, this will work great. Look at the flame that's coming off of this thing. That'll easily catch tinder and kindling without any issue at all. Still going. Wow, look at this thing. I'm impressed. You can't put it out really. Excellent. All right, open this one up. Put it inside. You can see that's still smoking. Let's do the lighter. Poof. Much like the match, this will just keep burning for a bit longer. That's excellent. Ooh. A lot of black smoke coming off of that. Don't breathe it. It's not good. All right, that's burning really, really well. Let's get the ferrocerium rod in the mix and see if it's more of the same. I presume it will be. Opened the cotton ball up, put the ferrocerium rod in. Boom. Holy pants. Yep, more of the same. That's awesome. So given the two do-it-yourself homemade fire starters, I think I'm gonna have to switch to the cotton balls. But first, let's do the birch bark. Now with the birch bark, you do have to prepare it slightly, much like you have to do with the cotton balls. So that's what we're going to use our knife, and we're gonna get some fine fibers from the bark to light on fire. I don't know if everybody does this, but I have an everyday carry. This is a Kershaw. It goes in my pocket every single day, and it works really, really well. So that's what I'm gonna use to scrape these up. I could use my Mora knife if I wanted, but this knife is little, really easy to use. It makes quick work of this. As you can see, I did some more scraping. Got a few shreds of the bark. Let's see how this one works with the match. I'm gonna take the shaving, the bigger pieces out. Okay. We'll catch. I'll leave the match in there this time. Got a good flame going. Again, there's a lot of black smoke. There's resin inside birch bark that makes it so that it's pretty much waterproof, water resistant at least. which is one of the big benefits of birch. If you get a bunch of it, you can pretty much start a fire regardless of how wet everything is. Okay, since the match worked so well, I'm going to use a smaller piece and test the lighter. I've already got the scrapings, got my lighter, and I got some extras to throw on when the flame hits. We got a little bit of flame. Oh, did I put it out? I did. Got too eager. Let's try again. There we go. Don't rush. I think that's the moral of the story. But yeah, that worked really, really well. All right, that's out. There's still some embers, but the flame's gone. Now let's do the ferrocerium rod. Since I need to use my Mora for the ferrocerium rod, I'm just going to use this to scrape up the birch bark. A nice little pile there. Are you ready? I'm ready. Ferrocerium rod method worked perfectly fine as well. Again, don't rush. This gives you plenty of time to put your kindling on top, let it catch, and then you can start going through the phases of increasing the size of your kindling so you can actually get a fire going. Start at small pencil-sized fuel and move all the way up to thumb and then eventually wrist size. Given the three methods we tested against the three different contenders, I'm going to say that first place goes to the petroleum soaked cotton balls, second place definitely goes to birch bark, and third place goes to the dryer lint. And the reason I did that for this particular part of the test was because if you prepare before you go out on the trail, you're always going to have what you need. So you know, prepare some cotton balls, put them in your pack, forget about them. You won't have to worry about finding birch bark, you know, freaking out if you're in the middle of a situation where you need fire quickly. They're going to be right there and you're going to be good to go. So that's why I'm rating them that way. All right, these have been soaking for about 5 minutes. I'm going to take them out of the water and then we'll get to what I'm going to call the survival mode test. The situation is maybe you fell in some water or you've been hiking all day in deep snow. Your pack got wet, your gear got wet, your fire starter got wet. So let's see how these all fare in that sort of situation. Birch bark, cotton ball, and dryer lint. I'm going to tell you right now, the dryer lint is not going to do so well. Look at this. It's soaked. There's no dry in it at all. Things don't look good for my old friend the dryer lint, but I'm gonna still test, right? Let's use a ferrocerium rod because the ferrocerium rod will work even if you are soaked. All right, we've got our dryer lint. Ugh. It's dripping, like it's bad. There's just like so much water coming out of it. I'll squeegee it out, see what happens. That does not look so good for our friend here. It's all right. Let's get the cotton ball pulled apart That's still got some wet in it too. Let's hope this works. Oh. I don't know, guys. Doesn't seem promising. Nope, cotton ball didn't work either. It's soaking wet. Let's get the birch bark and check it out. We're gonna prep it the way we used to, or that we do. Okay, see how this works. Look at that. Let's get some shavings off of here to maybe help. But it caught. You saw the flame. All right. Jay might be cold if he's wet. Interesting. That did not go as I planned, but it's okay. It's a learning experience. That was an interesting experiment. Kind of glad we did it. So what we found out is that in a survival situation, the dryer lint is absolutely no-go. The cotton balls, while probably would work if you have stored them in, you know, a medicine container or something like that. If they're directly soaked, nope, that didn't work either. And birch bark, well, it caught the flame. It did have a flame. So I have a feeling that if you have more material with you, you can actually make birch bark work even when it's soaking wet. So that's a little bit of an extreme case, because in most situations you're going to have your fire starter in some sort of Ziploc bag or dry bag or something like that, so they will never be totally soaked like that, but you never know. It's worth a try, right? I want to thank you for sticking around, watching this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy outdoor adventuring, gear, you know, how-tos, things like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We have a lot of fun here, and it's always a good time. Most importantly, I hope that I've inspired you to get outside and do something awesome. Thanks a lot. We'll see you next time.